Hi everyone! In this video, we are going to talk about the application of sales of goods ordinance in our everyday life. Before we start, do you know the importance of understanding the sales of goods ordinance? In our daily life, we always consume different goods or services to satisfy our wants. As a consumer, you probably enter into a number of contracts every day without even realizing it. No matter you are catching a bus, or buying a cupcake, seeing a doctor, or buying a box of milk, you are actually making a contract. However, sometimes after purchasing the goods, we discover that it may not have a satisfactory quality, or it is not the same as described. In this case, sales of goods ordinance may be useful, which help us to claim for refund and reject the goods. So, what is sales of goods ordinance? Let's start with some basic concepts. Sales of goods ordinance, in short SOGO, provides that goods for sales must fulfill 5 conditions. First, right to sell. This rule implies that only seller with the legal title of the goods has the authority to sell. Similarly, people cannot buy from a loan owner. For example, if you want to buy a property, you can only buy it from the owner instead of the tenant. The owner is the only person who has the right to sell the property. Second, correspondence with descriptions. For the goods you sell shall correspond with the description. Since you assume the buyer does not have any experience of using the product, he or she can only rely on the description from the seller, such that it is very important the description on the packaging correspond with products. Third, merchantable quality. This condition under sales of goods ordinance creates a standard of appearance and quality of products. Imagine you are going to buy an umbrella, and it is designed to protect a person against rain or sunlight. You will expect it can be used on a rainy day or even on a sunny day. Therefore, every product has certain qualities and requirements. Fourth, fitness for purpose. A seller may expressly or by implication to make known to the buyer for particular or specific purposes of the products. If a buyer purchases the product due to the description from the seller, there is an implied condition that the goods supplied under the contract should be reasonably fit for that purpose. Otherwise, it will be treated as a violation of SOGO. Fifth, the product should correspond with the sample quality. If the seller has provided the sample, it implies that the quality of the entire bulk of products should correspond with the same quality. After talking about the 5 rules implied in SOGO, it's time for us to have a short quiz to see if you can apply the knowledge in daily life. Question 1. Amy has bought a shirt since she was told that the shirt is 100% cotton. However, after Amy was back home, she discovered that the shirt is actually made of cotton and polyester. So according to the sales of goods law, which rule has the seller violated? Find the correct answer in 10 seconds. Time's up! The answer is correspondence with description. As the product materials of Amy's shirt is not the same as described by the seller, which is made up of 100% cotton. In this case, the seller has violated the correspondence with description. Next question. Betty told the seller that she wants to buy a CD player that must also play DVDs. The seller then introduced her a CD player which can play a DVD, and Betty also decided to buy it. However, when Betty started using it later, she noticed that the CD player is actually unable to read a DVD. In this case, which rule has the seller violated? Try to look for the right answer in 10 seconds. Time's up. Can you guess the answer? It is fitness for purpose. It is because Betty has mentioned her specific requirement for the CD player, which is the function of playing DVD. However, the CD player Betty bought is actually failed to fit her purpose, so the seller has violated the fitness for purpose rule in this case. Here comes to the third question. Kathy has bought a pair of shoes from the seller. The next day, when Kathy wore the shoes and walked down the stairs, the heel came off. She then unfortunately fell over and injured. She decided to sue the seller for compensation. In this case, which rule in the SOGO should Kathy use to claim for compensation? You now have 10 seconds to think of the answer. Any idea? The answer is merchantable quality. The reason is that if you were Kathy, when you buy a pair of new shoes, you will expect it to be not only with good appearance, but also durable and safe to wear. However, Kathy's shoes have already been broken in the second day she bought. This shows that the shoes have failed to meet a satisfactory standard and are not merchantable. Kathy can then use the rule of merchantable quality to claim for the compensation from the seller. Question 4. Daisy wanted to buy 500 yards of denim fabric for her jeans company production. The seller then showed her a piece of sample denim fabric. Daisy finds that the sample fabric is in a high quality and decided to make the bulk purchase with the seller. However, after receiving all the fabric ordered, Daisy finds that some of the fabric is faded and with poor texture, which is largely different from the sample in quality. She decided to sue the seller for compensation. Which rule in the SOGO should Daisy use to claim for compensation? Take some time to think of the answer. The answer is correspondence with sample quality. It is because according to SOGO, if the buyer was shown a sample of the goods before receiving the whole lot, the bulk should correspond with the sample in quality. As a result, given that the seller has shown a high standard sample fabric to Daisy, he should provide 500 yards of high standard denim fabric correspondingly. Let's move on to the last and the most challenging question. Eva has bought a car from Fred and used it for months. Few months later, her car was impounded by police as it was claimed that her car was actually a stolen car, and the original owner was not Fred. The car was then returned to the real owner. In this case, Eva decided to sue Fred for the full refund of the purchase price. Which rule in the SOGO should Eva use to claim for the full refund? Let's try to look for the right answer in 10 seconds. Aha! The relevant rule in this case is right to sell, since the car was actually a stolen car, which means that the ownership of the car remained with the real owner instead of Fred. As a result, Fred was not given the right to sell the car and has violated the SOGO. Eva can then use the rule of right to sell to claim for the full refund from Fred. The quiz is over. How many questions did you guys answer correctly? Do you guys find it difficult to apply the SOGO rules in the daily example? Before we end, let's revise the 5 SOGO conditions once more. They are: first, right to sell; second, correspondence with descriptions; third, merchantable quality; fourth, fitness of purpose; and finally, correspondence with sample quality. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys find this video interesting and be able to solve the legal problems related to the sales of goods. Bye bye!